Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elconin. Welcome to Monday's edition of Premarket Info.
Well, we've been down, trading down here overnight, Joel. You got to check your trade station quotes again because we're down again. 1624.50, down 5 points, low 1621.5. So we are 3 points off the lows that we made, or looks around 6 a.m. Eastern. Slow rally since then.
Yeah, just the parameters on the upside. We hit a high at 1627. A couple bucks from the close. Let's keep an eye on the highs from Thursday and Friday, 1631 and 32 and a quarter. And we have a great formation on the downside too. Thursdays and Fridays lows at 1620 even and 20 and a quarter. Hit 2150 in the pre-market. As long as we hold there, we're good to hit Jeremy Siegel's target of 17,000.
I don't know if we're going to see 17,000, but this market continues to buy them, so we'll have to see if they come in and try to buy them today. Gold's trading down again here, Joel. We've got the GLD down 75 cents. You got the gold futures obviously trading down here as well. Looking a little bit weaker here this morning.
Yeah, got a few requests on the site to talk about the gold market. It's a wild child intraday, so it's kind of tough to call along those lines. But what I think is interesting here is you had that spike low at 1321.50, had a recovery rally basically right up to the point where we fell off the cliff. We got back up to 1387, or excuse me, 1487.20. And now we're coming back and we're trying to retrace this move. And just a real good level to watch over the couple days here. 1403.50, 1404 was a double bottom that you had back in April. That's also the 50% retracement of this move. So if this gold rallies for real, we should not sniff this 1404 level and just keep going up and take out this 1487. 60 high.
Yeah, just for clarification, Joel's quoting the June gold futures there for you. So if you're looking at your quote, it's the June gold that we were talking about there. Yeah, but we're trading down here again on gold. Let's go to Apple here because we talked about Apple last week. It went ex-dividend there. We had talked that, typically these things work. They have a little run up in the ex-dividend and then sell off. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This one ended up being textbook because it had 3, 4, 5, well, actually it had about a 10-day run. But it was up strong before the ex-dividend date as well. Went ex-dividend around the 463 level. And it's been straight down since then for about $10. We are trading down on Apple another point here again, 451.62. Friday's low was 450.48. I think that 450's got to be a critical number just from a psychological perspective for the bulls to stay in charge here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this 440 to 450 range here, wasn't much going on the way up. I don't know if there's going to be much coming back on the way down. Small gap to fill here from the action from about 6-7 sessions ago. But let's just, nice round number. Keep an eye on that 450 level. I believe we did take it out earlier no, we haven't taken it out yet. Keep an eye on 450.48. That was Friday's low, 6-day low at 449.15. So you bulls still hanging on to this Apple rally here. Keep a close eye on the 450 level.
You got Google here trading down a couple of dollars, but it has been on a tear. And unlike Apple, it never really had a pullback. It made a new all-time high again on Friday. This has made new all-time highs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive days. This has made a new all-time high. It sure looks like it's trying to make the march for 900. I don't know if it's going to make it there today or not, but it does look like that's where bulls are trying to drive this up to. Will be interesting to see if they can get it there this week.
Just looking into parameters from Friday's trading. Now, the only thing I can say about this is it only had an 8-point range on Friday. So perhaps you're starting to get some people that are willing to, put some offers out in this thing and take some profits. Potential double top from Thursday and Friday, 879.66 and 880.54, the whole 880 level. If you absolutely have to try and, take profits or this or play it from the short side, at least you have a reference point above 880.54 here.
Barron's obviously comes out over the weekend there. They were actually giving BlackBerry, saying that they may be able to expand their network, might have some secret weapons floating around. So some good commentary in Barron's about BlackBerry. Stock is trading up here on a day. We're down 5 points. BlackBerry's up 1.5%. Trading at 15.75 right now. Probably, those Barron's comments definitely helping the stock here this morning. The chart's interesting on BlackBerry. It's, basically consolidated for a long time here, really between the $14 and $16 area. I'd love to see this thing, if the bulls get a charge, obviously, to try to start getting above 16 sometime soon here, or this rally might start to fade again.
Right, 1579 is the highest they've been able to get it in the pre-market trading so far. But if you jog your memory and you think about that Molycorp chart from Friday, you had
Oh,
a couple. Yeah, actually, Molycorp had several highs in the same area. This only has an exact double top here at 1568. But you have to assume if it can hold. Well, you don't have to assume, but if it can hold this 1568 level here, breaking out of the double top, could make a run at the $16 level. 1598 was the high on the 6, and then a few highs around 16. I think above 16, and you really got some room to run. But if you're looking for perhaps a lower risk long off the open, that 1568 should act as support now.
you just spoke about Molycorp. You might as well bring up the chart from Friday, because this was just an incredible move for a $6 stock. Obviously, they had earnings in the morning. That thing opened and just started flying. There was no looking back. Opened at the low at $6.12. That stock hit 775 intraday before pulling back and settling at 734. It is trading up again here this morning. You're getting some follow through. It's up another 18 cents at 752. Wow, what a move for Molycorp, and what a breakout.
Yeah, also just the volume just off the freaking charts on
How
this
much
thing.
did you have the volume for Friday, or maybe you don't have that with you?
Yeah, I didn't want to. I want to make sure I get this right. Yeah, 60 million. Yeah,
Wow,
60 million.
that is
And
absolutely incredible.
yeah, but it trades between traded 10 million the day before. For those of you that were looking for the come down and fill the gap at 593, well, forget it. You never even got a shot. This thing opened up at 613, ticked a penny lower, and was off to the races. If you're a fan of the Dennis 2-day
Yep.
move here, you got to go a little bit farther out here. $8 level might attract some sellers. You had some weekly highs at 817 and 8.25 back in early February. So Molycorp showing some strength here. See if it can continue the follow through. And just to end the pre-market in the after hours, the high so far has been 768. So that could be an early target for some of you longs.
I think the bulls will try to press this stock up again. I think you've got some shorts that have the hell squeezed out of them right now with this run straight up. It's just an incredible move. So anybody that was trying to fade that move, basically from the open at 9:30 all the way up to 4 o'clock there, just got crushed. I think there's probably a few people still sitting on some pretty major losses trying to pick a top in this thing. Obviously, some people sitting on some nice gains too if you're along the stock. But I think you could see a little bit of follow through here today. Obviously, it's trading up here on a day we're down. I think they'll try to press it up and try to get it up to that $8 number. So we'll have to see if they can do that or not today. Going back to the Barron's, there was a couple other stocks we want to highlight from the weekend. Barron's UNXL. Barron's was citing that they might have increased competition. Stock is trading down 5% here this morning at $1.75. Fairly light volume here, so hard to really say. It's only traded 4,800 shares, so and the spread's fairly wide, 33 to 33.43. But obviously looking weak here off those Barron's comments.
Yeah, I'm not sure a lot of people that are actively trading this stock, but just keeping an
Mover.
eye. 32.21 has been the low so far in the pre-market. What I think is more looking at this at a longer-term perspective here. Well, first of all, since the beginning of the year, this thing has been a rocket ship. Starting out the year over $10, getting up over 40. Now you're having some people, being a little bit cautious on the
What
stock.
a crazy chart.
Yeah, what an incredible run. But if you take a look at the dailies here, you did have a double bottom in the stock right around the $32 level in the middle of April. So you did get it near that in the pre-market, but I think if I was holding this thing longer term, you got to close below 32. I'd be a little bit leery of it taking back some of this ground under 32. If not, then the Barron's article just go by the wayside, and it will continue on its merry journey north.
Barclays pretty active here this morning, upgrading a few stocks. Start with AIG. They're upgrading it. They're fighting Goldman because Goldman obviously downgraded AIG last week. Barclays upgrading them this morning. It has AIG trading up 40 cents here at 44.60. Stock was in breakout mode there, and obviously doing pretty well before the Goldman downgrade. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue to give some strength here in the pre-market and the regular session.
Looking at the activity here, you did get a pop up to the 44.70 level, so that should act as resistance. Just looking at the chart, you did, after spiking above the $45 level, 45.85, you did have four consecutive lower highs and lower lows. It looks like that string's coming to an end today. Looking at the resistance point, 44.64 was the 3-day high. We'll keep an eye on that. If not, take a run back up to the $45 level. But it's interesting. They're butting heads with Goldman. If you take out this 43.53 level, looks kind of scary down to fill the gap down to 42.47.
Corning trading up here to new high with the Barclays upgrade as well. 15.35 it's trading at right now after closing at 15.10. So the stock is breaking out to a new 52-week high here. 15.25 was the high it just made just a couple of days ago. So there was a potential double top, which looks like it's going to be broken here in the pre-market. That stock could be off to the races as well.
Yep, looking from the trading so far going on this morning, it snuck up to the 15.50 level. It's pulled back a little bit since then. You can use that old double top here as support now, minor support, 15.23 to a quarter. I think we'd have to go. I don't even know if the weeklies are going to do anything. Nope, the weeklies aren't going to do anything. Monthlies here. Boy, this stock has not traded at the $16 level since August of 2011. So get above this 15.50. 16 is the next thing on the radar.
HIG also got upgraded at Barclays this morning. It hasn't. Well, I just traded 600 shares here at 29.85. So very light volume for HIG in the pre-market. $30. It's just a big whole number. You gotta expect some institutional selling pressure at the 30. So I think that could put a slight, lid on it here. If it takes out 30, then it'll probably open right up though.
Yeah, looks like the high freaks were leading on that $30 level. On Friday on Thursday, 29.91 was the high. Very little volume up there. Still have to respect that level. If it gets above the $30 level, boy, the weekly. All these charts are the same. I pull up the weekly, I can't find resistance.
It's a bull market.
I pull up the monthly, and I have to go back to March of 2011. You had a high at 30.09, and then the previous month was 31.08. So $30 levels critical here in Higgy.
Let's talk about some of the other movers from Friday because they're getting some follow through. Triple D, after pricing their secondary offering at $40, we said those areas can sometimes be a magnet, sometimes be like a floor for the stock. Well, it was a floor on Friday. Actually, in the pre-market, I think it ticked down to 39.80. Never even touched that in the regular session, though. Opened up pretty near the lows at 40.65. The low was 40.62, and then it just started marching straight up, all the way up into the 44 handle. Trading in the 44 handle here again this morning, so looking very strong here in the pre-market as well.
Above the 40, I was just going to say 44 was Friday's high. It's currently where we're trading, and you just got another tick up in this thing.
44.40.
44.91 has been the recent high of the move, Thursday's high, so we'll keep an eye on that. Just a thing to note here on the 3D systems, your initials here, Dennis, and the two of the last three trading sessions were big up days. And the volume on those sessions was monster. 17 million one day, 15 million the other day. And then when you kind of had a weekday on Thursday, the volume was only 6 million here. So powerful trend winding up here in Triple D systems.
Tesla, TSLA, had a heck of a move on Friday as well. It just continues to run here ever since their earnings report. It's up another $3 here
Oh,
again this
gee.
morning. Like we were saying, this is just squeezing the hell out of anybody that was shorting this thing off of valuation because it's just flying here. $80. The high on Friday was $80, $81 right on the kisser. We are below that right now at $80, but 250,000 shares is trading actively here, and I'd expect a large range again. It had over a 10-point range on Thursday, 10-point range on Friday. Actually, Thursday's range was 12 points. Friday's range was 12 points. So if that trend holds, we're gonna have a 12-point
Oh,
range here again. This is just incredible volatility.
yeah, 81.37 is the high that you hit here in the pre-market just not too long ago. I bet you that Goldman analyst that downgraded it right here is probably like hiding under his desk, hoping Lloyd Blankfein doesn't come in here. The previous high of the move was from Friday, $81. We did take that out. I mean, I just think you could just have to use, projections of the average, daily ranges for things for target. But just the other thing, being from the Motor City here, you got to think, if these, here's a car company that's just obviously bursting onto the scene and wonder what kind of effect. I mean, I know they don't have the mass production of like a GM or a Ford or something like that. What do they do? Put out like 2 cars a month or
I don't
something?
know how many.
But man, people are buying them, and you just got to wonder, what kind of effect this is going to have on our local, auto industry.
Yeah, I don't know what to say on GM and Ford. Obviously, both stocks have been fairly strong this year. Weak in the last few days, though. I'm not sure if the Tesla strength is equaling a little bit of weakness in GM, but GM has looked toppy here in the 32 handle. Basically, 4 days in a row, you topped out at just above 32, 32.44, then 32.22, 32.13, 32.19, 32.16. So
Wow.
basically 5 days there, 32. And then you had the breakdown day on Friday, where obviously a few stocks broke down, GM being one of them. Closing below the 32 handle, closed fairly strong, but I think we get anywhere near 32, and you're going to find people lining up to sell just because there's so many tops up there.
Right, 31. I mean, as good as that 32.20 level is resistance on the upside, this $31 level is support on the downside. Snuck under there on Friday before recovering. Going back to the second, you had a low at 31.05. So it's, I guess you can't call it government motors anymore, but as long as GM holds this $31 level, still good to go to the upside. And Ford, it's kind of snuck its way back up over 14. Similar formation, though, in Ford. The last four highs between 3 cents here, 14.23 to
Tight.
26. Yeah, tight. Formidable resistance. Probably a big seller here at 14 and a quarter. Coming back on the downside, 14.02 was Friday's low. Below that, you got some room down to the 13.80 level.
JC Penny breaking out here this morning. It's topped out multiple times in the high 17s. Looks like that trend's going to be broken here today. It's trading up at 18.30 here this
Woohoo!
morning on 123,000 shares. So we got a nice breakout over that critical 18 level. And then if you can get a little bit higher, 1834 was the high on the day after we gapped down from the big gap down day. So you have a gap between basically 1834 and all the way up into the 20 handle. Not saying it's going to fly through there, but we know when you have gaps in the chart, stocks move through those areas with a little more ease, and it is trying to approach that gap area.
Yeah, did you take a flyer on some 18
I was
calls
in
or
the
something?
yeah,
18?
was in the wrong week though. So when the Soros news broke, I bought the 18 and a half calls. The stock was at like $17. Bought the weeklies 18 and a half calls. I think I paid a nickel or seven, something real cheap. And I was
Yeah,
like,
you
you know
got
what?
cheap.
And it actually got up, and I was actually up in those calls. It actually got up. I think the calls got up to about 20 cents or so, but it got up to like 17.80 that day, and then the next day it was falling through. I was like, come on, give me that 2 day move, because I always say I like my 2 day move. Give me that 2 day move. This thing will get in the money for me, and I can start to make some money off those. And obviously it didn't happen and just went down. I always like playing those weekly options, the real cheap ones, trying to basically buy lottery tickets. 9 out of 10 expire usually worthless, but that 1 out of 10 can sometimes really make up for it.
Yeah, then you get the move, and then it sits still for 3 days, and they just
Yeah.
suck the
Oh, that
premium out of
premium
it.
just
And
gets sucked
yeah,
right out,
and
yeah.
it, yeah. Just interesting on this. I mean, this is the pop up when you had up was right up to the $18 level when they booted Johnson there, and came down, made the low of the move, and now you're coming back. You have taken out that area. If you were waiting for it to fill the gap here after the Soros news under 16, you're SOL. So we'll see what the situation is here on JC Penney now. You had a Friday's high 1776, Thursday's high at 75. So if you come back down under the $18 level, I would expect some support in J.C. Penney. Looking at the weeklies, man, we got a lot of ground to make
Yep,
up
that's what we
here.
were saying. A
A
little
lot of
gap.
air between, yeah, a lot of air between 18 and 20, and also to fill it. You know, we talk about gaps. If you wait long enough, they will get filled.
Sometimes. Overall market thoughts here. We just had U.S. retail sales break up 0.1% in April versus down 0.5% in March. We're down 3 points only now, so it's just slow. We started the show, we were down 5.5. We're come back on these April retail sales numbers, so we come back a couple of points here. Can we kiss in and start going positive here today? Possibly make new highs?
I mean, we do. I mean, of course. Come on, Dennis. I mean,
We're
if
in a
we're
bull
going to
market.
17, we got 17,000. We got 1,900. 1,900 points to get going pretty quickly here. But still dealing with the 1631 and 32 and a quarter highs. The highs from Wednesday and Thursday. So that's your resistance point. The high close for the move was Friday's high at 2950. So forget that. Get above 1630, and they should be able to pierce those highs.
Well, that's our show for today, guys. Have a great Monday trading session. We'll be back with you guys tomorrow.